I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all got to start appreciating. And you got to stop disrespecting this man. You got A.J. Brown, who's a legit number one, and you got Julio, who's a legit number one. One of them dudes got to get double teamed. Who gonna get double teamed? And whoever gets double teamed, the other one gets the ball. I'm saying this with no pun intended, with full of pride. Hey, yo, what it do? Welcome to another rendition of the Prideful Takes podcast. As always, it's your boy Pride. We got a good show. $1 million question. Is Uncle Dana tripping on one again? And of course, the NFL MVP race is heating up. But first and foremost, the ALCS and the NLCS are set. It's going to be Boston and Houston in the AL, and the Dodgers playing Atlanta in the NL. Boston got here after we handled our business against the Rays. Houston took care of business against the White Sox. It took 5 games, but the Dodgers took care of the Giants, and Atlanta overcame the Brewers to get to the point we're at. Best of 7. Who finna take that dub? Now we're going to start clearly in the NL. Maybe it's just me. It could be just me, but I just don't think in any way, shape, or form that the Braves have any chance against the Dodgers. I really don't. I think they might sneak a game, but other than that, I'm looking at this team. I don't see them being able to hang with the Dodgers. Again, it could just be me. It could be maybe I'm just tripping on one. That's a possibility. Look, they're a good team. Okay, clearly Freddie Freeman. He's a great first baseman. Not going to take anything from him, but at the same time, when you look at the roster, there's not really anybody who you look at and go, "Oh my God, these guys can beat a great team." Again, they're good. Unfortunately, the Dodgers are just great. And it sucks to say that because I feel for Freddie Freeman. I like him a lot. I think he's a great first baseman. I like him a lot. I think he's one of the best first basemen in the league we have today. They have Jock Peterson, who they got from LA, which he ended up paying dividends, hitting that, he ended up hitting some clutch. He got some clutch hits going on. But if you look at this lineup, and this is what the lineup is projected to be. Now, Soler, he's not going to be playing because he's on the COVID list. More likely, it's going to be Swanson at batting first, then Freeman, followed by Ozzie, then Austin Riley, Eddie Rosario in the 5-hole. 6 is going to be Adam Duvall, Jock Peterson at 7. 8, Travis is going to be Travis, and then 9 is going to be their catcher. Most likely, it's going to be Max Fried, who after the All-Star break has been on a tear and has been their best pitcher since the All-Star break. So they're probably going to lead with him and try to steal one at home. Now, when you look at the Dodgers, you got Mookie Betts. He's probably going to get the leadoff spot. Corey Seager at 2. 3 is going to be Trey. 4 is going to be Justin Turner. 5, Will Smith. You got Albert Pujols. More than likely, I have a feeling that they should probably sit Cody Bellinger for a little bit and have Albert Pujols come in there. So I'm hoping it's him at the 6. Chris Taylor at 7. AJ Pollock going to be coming in the 8th spot. And then as far as the pitching, they're probably going to go with Tony Gonsolin, but Max Scherzer wants it. And they want to avoid that because he just had a pitch. He had to come out as a reliever. And he pitched the 9th inning. It was flawless. He got his first career save. So maybe they might end up dipping their feet in with him. Look, right now, the Dodgers are that team. Not just in the NL, but everywhere. They're that team. The team everybody wants to beat, team everybody's got to beat. And the way it's looking right now, I don't see, like I said, the only team I could genuinely see beating them is, and I'm going to sound biased, but the Boston Red Sox. And that's just because pitching is suspect, but the offense, and you can even make the case with Houston, because Houston also does have a very high-powered offense. But the Braves don't have it as high-powered as everybody else. So, in terms of that, I think it's going to be a clean sweep for the Dodgers. I really do. I mean, maybe 4-1. Maybe. But I just don't expect it. But in the AL, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. We are hosting Houston. Well, we're not hosting Houston, but we're playing Houston, which I don't mind. I really don't. The lineup, this is the official lineup for Atlanta and the Dodgers. That's the projected most likely lineup. These are the lineups that are set. So it's going to be Altuve at the 1. He's going to be at 2nd. Michael Brantley, instead of him in the outfield, he's batting 2, and he's going to be in the DH. Alex Bregman is going to be at 3rd base, and he's batting 3. Jordan Alvarez, he's going to be in left field. He's batting 4. 5 Carlos Correa at short. Kyle Tucker is going to be batting at 6. He's going to be in right field. Gurriel is going to be at 1st, and he's batting 7. Chad McCormick, he's going to be in center field, batting 8. And Martin Maldonado, he's going to be catcher. He's going to be in that 9 hole. And then their starting pitcher is going to be Framber Valdez, compared to them boys, Dirty Water Boys. Love them with a passion. It's going to be Kike Hernandez leading off. After that, he's going to be playing center. The 2 is going to be Kyle Schwarber at 1st, which kind of surprised me a little bit. At 3 is going to be Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. 4, Rafael Devers at 3rd. JD Martinez is batting 5th, and he's going to be DHing. Hunter Renfroe at 6th, right field. 7th, Alex Verdugo at left field. Christian Arroyo is going to be second base. He's going to be batting 8th. And Christian Vasquez in the 9 hole playing catcher. And the starting pitcher is going to be Chris Sale. A lot of people are wondering why we're starting Chris Sale. And this is something you need to understand, because a normal person would say put Nathan Eovaldi out there, right? But here's the thing. Chris Sale is our best pitcher, and there's just no debate. He's our best pitcher. And if Boston wants any type of success with a pitching staff that's suspicious, if we're going to go anywhere in this postseason, Chris Sale has to be a part of it, and he's got to be a key part of it. He's going to have to be that guy for us. Whether we like it or not, he has to. Because if not, we're going to be screwed. We're going to be screwed. So him getting the ball game 1, I have no issues with it. Let's see how it goes. Again, they're not going to let him pitch 6-7 innings. They're probably going to do 4 or 5 and then go to the bullpen. They want everyone to preserve their arm in the postseason. I think this genuinely is going to go 7. I'm going to go Boston. I think it's going to be Boston Red Sox in 7. Both offenses are just high powered. It's good. There are going to be a lot of high scoring games, which is what I love personally. I love to see, because those are exciting games for me. And at the same time, we start seeing those high scoring games, you kind of got to see the pitchers adjust. And they're going to have to adjust. So it's going to be interesting to see. But maybe it's just me being a little biased. But I got Boston in 7. It's going to be very interesting to see. And frankly, I'm looking forward to this series, because again, not only with Boston, they shouldn't be here because they rebuild, but Houston also has a point to prove. They're trying to prove that, yeah, look, we cheated, but we're still nice, and you got to respect us. Which best way to do it? Just making it to the World Series. Just making it to the World Series alone will make people have to respect you. Now imagine if Houston wins. So Houston also has a chip on their shoulder, so they definitely have a lot to prove. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a great one, and 100%. The NL right now is kind of weak because I'm not really, I think it's gonna be a cakewalk. But the AL, those are gonna be some games you gotta watch. Is Uncle Dana on one? I think he is. He believes that right now Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time, passing GSP. You don't know who GSP is? Georges St. Pierre. Rush is what they call that, man. Is Uncle Dana on one? I'll be honest here. At face value, it sounds like he's on one. But then if you take a minute and relax, fall back a little bit, and actually watch, he's not. Now, let me preface this by saying I believe not only is GSP the greatest welterweight of all time, I believe he's the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. I believe he's the greatest UFC fighter. Well, I can't say mixed martial artist. He's the greatest UFC fighter of all time. I believe it. I genuinely do. He was a dude who came out and was really he was one of the first all-around guys who became dominant. Because he could do it all. George would be able to take you to the distance. He could make you tap, or he could knock you out. George was a problem. He was a problem, and defensively he was even more of a problem because it was very difficult. Now he's 26-2, which personally I believe he should be 25-3 because he lost to Johnny Hendricks, but that's neither here nor there. He's 26-2, 8 wins by KO, 6 wins by submission, 12 wins by decision. He got 3.78 significant strikes landed per minute, 53% striking accuracy, and 72% striking defense. So what striking defense is, because not a lot of people usually hear that. What that is how the percentage you make your opponents miss when they try to hit you. So GSP knows how to not get hit. Again, this is not to make an argument or a debate that Kamaru Usman is overrated. No, because I am on record. I am a Kamaru Usman fan. But if you start looking at some of the names that GSP has beaten, he's beaten Nick Diaz. And that was when, Nick Diaz was Nick Diaz. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this wasn't right. So this wasn't a guy that he beat Carlos Condit, who's legit, Jake Shields, legit, Josh Koscheck, he's beat him. He's beat BJ Penn. He's beat, the only 2 losses he has was Matt Serra and Matt Hughes. He then went on to beat them. So the 2 guys that he beat, he was able to find a way to change his game in one way or another to beat them. So not only has he beat them, he's beaten numerous guys, Frank Trigg, Sean Shirk. He's beaten a lot of guys. And again, he's beaten them in dominant fashion. In a way where you can't really say, maybe did he win, did he not? I don't know. No. Very dominant fashion. Now, if you look over at Kamaru Usman. Again, hell of a fighter. Nothing but respect for him. 19-1. He's on an 18-fight win streak, I believe it is. 9 wins by KO, 1 by submission, 9 wins by decision. 4.63 significant strikes landed per minute, so that's more. 54 striking percent accuracy, which is a little under. And then 57% striking defense. I will give Usman this in this regard. He can take damage. He can take damage. He could recover. Now this guy we see, he's very poised. But again, if you start looking at the guys that he beat, okay, Gilbert Burns, I like that. Masvidal, right? He beat, right? So no issues there. Covington, Tyron Woodley, who people could say was, Rafael dos Anjos, Damian Maia. And then after that, you start getting to, he beat Leon Edwards before he was Leon Edwards, if you know what I mean. So do I think he's the greatest? No. I personally don't. I think he's on the path, though. I think this is where he doesn't get that much respect. I genuinely believe he's on the path to being the greatest. And not only the greatest welterweight, the greatest of all time. He's getting there. I have absolutely nothing but respect for him. So it's not like, it's like I hate him and I'm trying to put him down. Because, again, I'm a fan of his. I believe right now it's his time. I think this is a conversation we can have in about 3 years. If we have this 3 years, we'll be able to come back to this and say, okay, is he on one? As of right now, Uncle Dana's on one. Uncle Dana 100% is on one. Because when you start looking at him, and it sucks having these conversations because, there's always that one person who says, oh, well, it doesn't matter because you can't teleport them. You can't put a prime GSP today. Or you can't throw Kamaru Usman right now in a time machine and put him back to face a prime GSP. So that it does suck that you can't really, say anything. You can't really, there's nothing factual. I mean, not really factual, but concrete. It's always going to end up with, oh, but we'll never know. Especially now that GSP is 4 years old. I think with every passing moment, I don't think we're ever going to see this fight because this is a fight a lot of people really wanted to see. Like, I believe if Usman would ever get in a octagon with GSP, I think it would be great to see. Usman right now is 34. I believe GSP is about 40. So again, this is something that I would want to see, but at the same time, I don't think GSP really wants to fight anymore. I think he doesn't really care to fight, which I don't blame him. I really don't. He already proved everything he had to prove, beating the guys he had to beat. So in terms for him, it'll be very, very interesting to see how they will look in the octagon together. Unfortunately, we'll never get that, and that's what sucks about it. That's something we're not gonna get. Like I said, I frankly don't believe that's something we ever will get. But as of right now, GSP is the greatest welterweight of all time and the greatest fighter of all time. In about 3 years, let's see the trajectory Usman is. Because if he's out here really dominating his era, his division, then you can say, okay, he's better. But as of now, we're going to have to stick with GSP. Speaking of three-letter names, GSP, MVP heating up in the NFL. A lot of guys that, frankly, haven't been in the conversation in a while. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. What does these guys have in common? They're MVPs. So with all that going and with all the surprise and all the other guys who really stepped up to show how great they truly are, as of now, I'm going to give my top 3 guys to win this division. Now, honorable mention is going to have to go to Russell Wilson. I believe the way Russ was playing, he would have been in MVP contention. Messing up his finger, that kind of eliminates him because now he's not going to be back. Like the soonest he can come back is week 10 against the Packers. That's as soon as he can come back. So with that being said, it sucks, but it is what it is. Number 3, Justin Herbert. 67% completion percentage, which, again, for a young guy, is pretty nice. 1,576 yards, 13 TDs, 3 interceptions, QBR of 104.7, and he's leading the Chargers to a record of 4-1. Now, records matter, yes, of course, but at the same time, your stats also need to matter. This kid has helped leading this team. We said this Monday when I had Chris here. It's time to stop talking about this team like they're a team of the future, right? And I was a fool of this. I fell under it too. I thought they were heading in the right direction. And I thought this year, were they going to be, I didn't think they were going to be this. And the most important of this is because of that kid, Justin Herbert. I like him. The guy throws the ball, and when he throws it, it's almost like no effort. He just, and then the ball goes 50 yards. No problem. It's incredible. He's got great arm talent. You can see him learning the game. And he, again, what I like about him, every shot doesn't have to be a home run shot. He looks and takes what he can get. If he can get a 15-yard bomb, 20-yard bomb, 30-yard bomb, he'll take it. But if there's nothing, he got to do a check down. He does that too. He's good either way. I believe if they go on a tear, again, these 3 guys, I think they're a lot closer than people care to admit. I think in 1 week, this kid can go from 3 to 1 like that. That's how close I think it is with the MVP race. I don't think this year it's anyone really running with it. But number 2, Josh Allen. This guy they call him the Winter Soldier. I did not know that until I actually listened to like a Bills broadcast, which you actually got to go out of your way to find it. I was listening to a Bills broadcast, and they call him the Winter Soldier. Never knew that. 62.3% completion percentage, 1,370 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 102.5 quarterback rating, and he's leading the Bills to a 4-1 record. Remember how I said that Justin Herbert throws the ball and it looks easy for him? Yeah, it looks even easier for this man. Like a lot of the balls he throws that that need to go the distance just seems so effortless. Again, I believe it's effortless, and that's how it looks like to him. It just looks like he's just kind of going with the motion, and the ball just goes. It's very nice to watch. He doesn't care. This guy plays with reckless abandonment. That he's like, look, I'm out here to win. I'm trying to win, and with that that type of determination is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, obviously, for him, but it's also dangerous for everybody else because if you really think about it, you're playing against a guy who knows, look, my arm can beat you. My arm can beat your defense. So at this point, it's like, stop me. And if you can't stop me, I'm going to have fun because, again, he likes that deep ball. And what's nice about him, he can throw the deep ball, and he can connect with it. So as of right now, he's my second. Third, I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. Kyler Murray. He's my third. And honestly, there's just no other way really to put it. 75.2% completion percentage, 1,512 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 113 passer rating. He's leading the Cardinals to 5-0, which is the only undefeated team left in the NFL. The way this guy's playing is different. He's taking risks, right? Kind of like what Josh Allen does. But the difference is that they're calculated risks. Like, let that sink in. This guy just is the way he plays, the way he's doing his thing. It's very, very interesting to see, considering the way he does it is just I feel like I can get this through. Let me see what I can get away with. Every risk he does is not just some wild, idiotic idea. It's like it's risky, but I could pull it off. It's almost as if he's you can actually see him thinking about the risk while the play is going on. And then he goes for it. And then he commits to it. And that's something that's very special. Not a lot of people can do that. And as of right now, without a shout out, he's got to be the MVP. I don't see anybody else being the MVP. Right now it's his. Like I said, it's close though. It's close. So I'm going to give it to him. Before I let you guys go, there's just something I need to get off my chest real quick. I've done it before, and it's just now I'm seeing people do it more and more and more and more. The preseason does not determine whether or not a team is going to be good or bad. What people are doing, because obviously they hate LeBron, they're watching Lakers games, right? And the Lakers are losing, right? But again, it's preseason. They're not really trying. They're kind of just like going through the motions. They're not looking and saying, oh, well, look at this. Oh. And it's like, bro, do you not realize what the preseason is for? It's meant for guys who are fighting for minutes. It's interesting to me. The preseason games count for LeBron, but then the bubble doesn't. Let that sink in one time. Let that sink in. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I genuinely believe this. If you're a person who comes up to me and tells me, oh, this team is going to be bad, and I ask you, okay, why? And you say anything that has to do with the preseason, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not talking to you. I'm going to say, okay, I'm walking away. That's it. Preseason, any sport. Any sport. Because in the preseason, you need to understand something. When it comes to the preseason, them guys are just trying to figure it out. Especially when you have a big three, right? And it's a big three that, frankly, you just never, you don't You don't know how you guys are going to fit together. You don't know how you're going to fit together. You know? It could work. It could not work. We need to figure out, okay, you know, when you bring the ball up, how do I use the way I play to mesh well with you? It works out for some people. You know, if you got a guard, and then you got a guard with a big man, and you're 3, right? Let's say it like that. Or 2 guards and a big man, right? You got one guard being a facilitator. Yeah, the big man who, you know, can rely on that facilitator. And then you got the guy who just, you know, I'll like his club. We can just, you know, give it to him. And that's it. But it takes time to figure stuff out. It takes time to figure out your role on a team, especially if it's a team that you're supposed to be like, you know, a third guy, and you get there and you don't really know. You don't really know what how to properly fill your role for the team's need. I'm on record saying I don't think this Lakers team will be able to win. I don't think so. Not because of LeBron, not because of Anthony Davis. I believe Russell Westbrook, and this is just common knowledge. If you disagree with this, you're an idiot. Russell Westbrook just doesn't fit. He doesn't fit cleanly on this team. But for me to say, oh, look at the preseason games, oh, I told you, would be idiot. That'd be idiotic. We need to relax and stop pointing at things that, frankly, don't matter. Preseason doesn't matter. For the stars, anyway. For the stars. Now, those guys that are fighting for their minutes, and it'll determine whether or not they go to the G League or if they come, you know, stay and determine on the terms of their two-way contract. That matters. But we need to stop acting as if the preseason is the end-all be-all. I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you ever talk to somebody and they take the preseason more serious than the regular season, excuse yourself from that conversation, because frankly, it's not a conversation worth having. Follow us on Twitter at Prideful Takes. I always tweet stuff, whether it be news. If you guys want to, you know, argue with me about something, tweet me. You know, I have no problem responding. Catch us on Facebook at Prideful Takes. We be putting up memes. We go live on Facebook, and we also sometimes be putting up news up there. If you don't have a Facebook, we're on YouTube at Prideful Takes. So that way, if you don't have Facebook, you can still see us. Check out our website, www.pridefultakes.com. Not only is every single episode up there, but also we have original articles as well. And check us out on Spotify at Prideful Takes Podcast. Every single episode goes up as soon as we're done here. So as soon as the episode's done, download it, put it right up there. So it'll be up there and ready to view within 30 to 45 minutes. As always, it's your boy Pride. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me. And like I always say, if somebody takes the preseason serious, that's a red flag. Catch you guys on the next one.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the
2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.